Hey guys, today I'm going to do a video showing you how I put on false lashes. And I'm using for the first time today the Kiss True Volume lashes. It says natural plump, resembles natural eyelash with tapered ends. So I'm using these lashes. And I'm going to also use the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive with aloe for the first time. So that's this one. And you guys know I've worn lashes before, but I do not wear them all the time. I don't wear them that often at all. It's not something you wear in public around here. I mean, I live in a big city area, but you just don't wear them in public around here. Around here, you're trying too hard. If somebody saw you in them, they'd be like, that girl needs to find some confidence, right? So around here, you're trying too hard if you're wearing these out in public. But if you were performing or something, a dancer might be wearing them, or somebody in a theater might be wearing them, or something along those lines. But because of that, and I really don't. I mean, even though I could use them for video, making videos, I really don't use them that often for that either. So anytime I do wear them, for me, it's a little bit, I kind of have to remind myself how I do it. It's not habitual anymore for me. So the one good thing about that, as I tell you that, is that it makes it really easy for me to tell if a lash is hard to work with or not. I think everybody knows when they get a lash that's really difficult to work with, but for me, I can tell right away. It's not like I wear them or I have them almost on and then I'm like, oh, these are kind of hard. It's like I can tell right away, because ones that are easy to work with are really easy to work with. So we will see how these are, taking them out of the plastic packaging. So now I have to actually remove them from the tray. And I could actually do it through here because this is open, but I'm going to see if I can get the tray out just to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so they look like this. And I would say they're kind of middle of the road as far as whether you would call them intense or dramatic. And I'm going to go ahead and take the glue out. I really think it's important pretty much every time, no matter who you are, to trim your lashes. I've even seen beauty gurus online who say, man, I have huge eyes. But when they put their lashes on, they still need to trim them, and they don't. In order to make a false lash not look like you're blatantly wearing a false lash, you really need it to kind of not start at the inner corner of your eye. You really need it to start kind of back here. So a little closer than 2/3 of the way in, but it needs to be at a point where your lashes naturally start to look kind of thicker on their own. Otherwise you'll never get them to blend in the way you want them to. So that's the first thing. And these actually are a little bit sticky already, so I may not even really actually need to use glue. Sometimes I'll wear, if a lash has glue that sticks it to this, sometimes that's, for me, the first couple times is enough to hold it on for as long as I would need it on. But yeah, it's pretty tacky. So usually when you're looking at these packages, when I'm looking at it, the right side is for the left eye and the left side is for the right eye. So if you were to turn it around and face it away from you, then this would be the right and this would be the left. But looking at it, it's usually the opposite. So the one that I peeled off here technically should be for the left eye, and that is important depending on the shape of the lashes. Now these lashes are pretty uniform from one end to the other. They're just kind of an even rounded shape, but a lot of lashes get longer on one side than the other. So that matters, but also too, when you trim it, you're going to need to keep track of which one goes on which eye. because you're going to trim, you generally want to trim the outside off, not the inside. Usually the outside. It's a very rare occasion that I trim the inside. So I'm going to hold this up to my eye and just see how much I need to trim. And my mirror's over here, so I'm going to look over here. And hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing, but if not, I'll kind of tell you. Okay, so this has enough sticky on it. I really could just stick this on and go with it. But you can sort of see, if I just kind of prop it here, you can see that it's too long. See how far in it's coming, and when I blink I can even feel it over here. So I'm going to snip just a little bit off the edge here to make it fit my eye a little better. Could I get away with it being this long? Yes, I could. See? I mean, I could get away with that, but I still need to snip just a little bit off. And most of the time, for me anyway, my eyes are fairly similar, so I actually can turn lashes towards each other usually and line them up and just snip the same amount off of both sides. But you really need to take your face into consideration. So, you know, if you have one eye that's longer than the other, and you might, then that's not going to necessarily work for you. So now I'm just measuring the other eye and just seeing. You can do them one at a time, but like I said, I usually do mine together. And these are nice and light. I've used some kiss lashes in the past that were a little heavy. They were kind of heavy, and they were not very flexible, so they have really improved compared to what I used in the past. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to take a little bit off the edge. Okay, so maybe like 2 or 3 little, let's see, 2 or 3 little bits, maybe, just a little bit. And don't throw that little bit away, because you can use that little bit just to thicken up the outer corner if you want to. With nothing else, see, I just took a little tiny bit off. Can you even see? It's hard to see. I don't use tweezers. A lot of people use tweezers, but I just took about 3 little beads off. But I can use this just in the outer corner by itself as an individual lash, or I could put these lashes on and put this right over the top just to make that very outer corner just a little bit thicker if I wanted to. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye, and I'm just going to take the same amount off. Okay, so, see, just a little tiny bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my lash glue, and this one is, let me see, in black. It's actually the color black, so it should be black in the bottle. I typically use clear glues. I just, I don't know, I think they dry nice and clean, but so this is the first time I've used black, so I'm kind of interested to see how it works out. Alright, I'm just going to take a little squirt of this, and usually what I do is I just squirt a little bead up, and I just kind of run it like under the lashes, because this is the least messy way to do it. I've seen people use like toothpicks before to kind of do this. I do like when there's a brush applicator. That can be a really neat and clean way to do it, but this works too. You can see it went right back down in the bottle when I quit squeezing it. I am going to put the cap on though, because I don't know how runny that is and I don't want it to leak out. And then you need to let this dry for a little while. like 30 seconds. I mean, you want to be a little bit patient with it because you need it to really sort of get tacky. The tackier it is, the easier it's going to be to put them on. So you can blow on it if you want to, but it's, you know, a sanitary situation. So I'm just going to wait here for 30-45 seconds, a while. You know, be patient with it and kind of let that thicken up a little bit. And now you could use tweezers if you want to. I don't. I just use my fingers. This one's going on my left eye first. So it's going to be harder for you to see. My left eye, I always come over the top. For some reason that's easier for me. It makes it easier for me to get these down over the top of my lashes and place it where I want to. And I usually place the center first. I kind of line it up, you know, where it needs to be as far as the shape of my eye. And then I move in nice and slow. And I place the center down first. Okay? And then once I get the center placed, then I place the outer edge. And then I place the inner edge. So outer edge, inner edge. Okay? And then I just kind of hold it there for a second, just to make sure that it was tacky enough. And you can kind of like lift the lashes a little bit to make sure they're pointing upwards, the direction that you want them to. Okay? And I put my mascara on first before that. A lot of people you'll see put mascara on sort of after they're done. And they put mascara on to blend the lashes in together. I don't do that. I like to put my mascara on first. I don't curl my lashes because my lashes have a little bit of a natural upward curl to them already. And I find if I curl them, they'll curl back too far and then it becomes impossible to get fake lashes on. But if your lashes are very straight, then you should probably curl them first just a little bit to get them going in the right direction. I just don't like to put mascara on after because I don't like to get mascara on the false lashes. But it is, a lot of people do take mascara once they get the lash on and kind of use a little mascara and blend their natural lashes into the false ones. So if you want to do that, you can. You know, this is not, nobody's going to fine you for doing it wrong. This is just, do it the way that works for you. Okay? And now I'm going to do the other one. So I'm going to get my glue and go in here again. And I just squeeze up a little bead. I'm doing it very carefully because it's weird holding it up like this. See that kind of bubble up? Just, yep, like that. Squeeze up a little bead and sort of hold it there. And then I run my lash over the top of it. Now, once you've used your lashes one time, if you're going to do this, you want to make sure that you kind of clean your lashes off a little bit with like, I mean, you can use anything. A baby wipe or something, a little makeup remover. You might use makeup remover to kind of work them off anyway. But I like to do that just for sanitary reasons, because if you have old makeup, like old eyeliner gooked on there and whatever else, and then you're running it over the glue and then the glue goes back in the bottle, not the most sanitary way to handle it, right? So anyway, that's just something I like to do. Plus I find that it helps lengthen the amount of time I can wear my lashes. I mean, how many uses I can get out of them. So again, I'm just going to let this dry for quite some time before I put it on. So I'm going to fast forward for you so you don't have to sit and watch me wait. And again, I'm right-handed, so again, I like to kind of come from the top. I grab hold of them right in the middle. If it's easier for you to use some tweezers, then by all means go for it. And then once I get the middle placed, then I set down the outer corner and then the inner corner. You can use one hand, two hands, whatever works best for you. And then I like to kind of tip mine up just a little bit to make sure they're facing upwards before the glue really dries. Okay. And that's it. I think on this left eye, I probably should have cut off maybe one more bead. So I'm not going to do it right now, but the next time I wear them, I'll remember and I'll cut one more off, because my left eye is maybe just slightly longer than the right one was. But that's okay, no big deal. Alright, so there you have it. What do you think? Nice fluttery long lashes. They're not fluttered too much. They're still not totally dry yet. Alright, so that's how I do it. It's pretty easy, even though I don't do it all the time. I mean, it's been, to be honest with you guys, I probably haven't worn lashes now in, I mean, well over a year. Maybe 2. I don't do it that often. I do it for very specific occasions. So it's been that long and it was that easy for me to do it. So don't be, I know it's intimidating. Don't be afraid. I mean, you know, get a really good, nice lash that's affordable, like the Kiss lashes. You know, these are affordable. These are good for somebody who's new to it. If you mess up somehow, cut too much off, whatever, it's not that big of a deal because they're not that expensive. And there's really no such thing as cutting too much off, because, I mean, you just made it a demi lash, right? Instead of a full lash. No big deal. Then now you've got 2 sets of lashes instead of 1 set of lashes, right? Or 2 sets and some extra tips. Now, if I wanted to, I could put a little glue on this, and I could put this right here, right above the edge of the outer one, and make that outer corner even thicker. So, don't throw away your little snippings. Those are valuable as well. Okay, so what do you think? Those are the lashes. Pretty, right? And obviously, pick some that are to your taste. If you like something even thicker and more dramatic, then get something thicker and more dramatic. Or go a little more natural and lighter color. You know, I don't know for sure, but a lot of times you can find lashes that are done in like a dark brown and not necessarily a black, or like an auburn color, and I like those as well because, you know, I do have lighter color hair, so those are much more natural looking on me, and then I can go more natural with my eyeliner as well, but still have a dramatic look if I change colors. But yeah. Well, I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions for me, please let me know, but I think it's fairly self-explanatory. So hopefully you got something from this video, and hopefully I said something that helped you out a little bit, and hopefully now you're not nearly as intimidated. I don't smell the aloe. Apparently this is supposed to be like, apparently this has aloe in it. You know, it doesn't have a scent to it or anything that I noticed. And it's definitely not feeling irritating at all, so we like that. Thumbs up. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Extreme close-up.